everybody. It's your podcast, Sista Lisa, coming to you from Cleveland, Ohio. If you like to discover new music, then you've come to the right place. This is where you'll meet singers, songwriters, musicians, and more who are living the dream and talking about it on Podcast Sista. On today's show, I'll be interviewing the singer-songwriter LIV HATFIELD. But before I begin the show, there she is. Before I begin the show, I just want to remind you to stay tuned for some upcoming shows. I'm going to be interviewing Jet Juergensmeyer on February 15th and also interviewing on February 20th the country singer-songwriter Rick Zachary. So without further ado, let's welcome my guest, LIV HATFIELD.
Hello.
This is so exciting.
Very.
I love having young, fresh talent on the show. And it gives me a chance to recognize artists like yourself and support you. And, LIV, you're 15 years old. And what teenager doesn't have, the dream of becoming a singer? I know I did. I wanted to be Pat Benatar. I don't even know if you know Pat Benatar. But, how did you get into the music industry?
Well, my very good friend in the music business, Miss Annie Vander, I met her through her open mics that she runs up here in Yorkville. And a little while back, she gave me the opportunity to meet her producer, Mr. David Norris, and she also ended up giving me the contact to her publicist, Miss Nicole Zeller. And honestly, if I didn't have Miss Annie Vander in my corner, I would not be where I am today with music. So, yeah.
That's great. I know Annie. I've had her on the show twice, and she is not only talented, she is very wise in regards to the industry. You have picked, or God has picked, a great mentor for you. Nicole as well, I've known her for some time now, and you're in very, very good hands. And what did that conversation go like when Annie, or you talked to Annie and you said, I want to be a singer? Or how did that all go?
Well, I first went to her open mics when I was 12, and the first song I had performed for one of them was Set Fire to the Rain by Adele, and I think I surprised everyone with my big voice. And around the time Annie had released Falling Into Nashville, which is such a great song, and her, so
Yes.
She's really hard not to love, so we became fans of each other right away. And then as time went on and I kept going to her open mics, she sat down with me and my mom, and she's like, I think you're ready to talk with my producer and stuff. And she gave my mom his number, and then we got into contact with him, and then we started going down writing. And then later on, she gave us the number to her publicist. So, yeah.
I mean, that's a dream come true. It really is. I mean, you're in high school. What grade are you in?
I'm a freshman.
Okay. Oh my gosh. I mean, it's, how do you juggle doing homework, doing tests? I hear you play volleyball. I'm a big supporter of volleyball. I'm a volleyball mom from way back. So I'm so glad you're in that sport. It's my favorite sport. But how do you handle high school and going into the studio, doing open mics? How do you manage that?
Girl, it's tough, especially because it's my first year of high school, and I also have to acclimate with practicing music and practicing competitive volleyball. It just really comes down to my great support system that includes my team, my parents, my friends, my teachers. They all just are really there for me and help keep me on track. It really also just comes down to time management and learning to say no when I know I can't do something.
Yeah. So, do you play volleyball all year round, LIV?
I do, yes.
So are you in, well, we call it in Cleveland, JO, club teams, and you travel. Is that what you do?
Yeah, I play school volleyball, and then I play club, which you said JO?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I do that, from, like, the end of school season, which is, like, October till, like, midsummer. So,
Okay.
I have, like, a 2-week break, and then school starts back up. So that would
Oh,
yeah.
nice, nice.
Yeah.
Well, and so your position that you play?
I'm an outside. What position was your kid?
She was a left side,
Okay,
and she played, varsity, well, JV, and then she was pulled up to varsity for Mentor High School, which
great.
is one of the largest high schools in, the Cleveland area. She went D1, it's D1, and then she played 1 year in college and got mono, and unfortunately, that ended her
Oh,
volleyball career, but she went on to coach. But it was all about the varsity jacket when she was in high school. I don't
yeah.
know if you guys wear varsity jackets like they did in Mentor. Do you guys do that?
I haven't seen anyone wear, like, a varsity jacket at my
Oh
school.
my,
I think it's just I well, when I'm a senior, I'm definitely gonna buy one, put all, like, my patches on and stuff, but
yeah,
I think
yeah.
it's more or less like a statement rather than, like, wearing it to school.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, she had to get that varsity jacket and, kept adding all those
Yeah.
patches. And they went to states um for 1 year, and they didn't make it. A lot of the teams are really, really good.
Yeah.
And there's always somebody better,
Yeah.
unfortunately. But oh, I'm so glad you're so well rounded. And let's talk about you're 15 and you have 3 singles out.
I do.
I mean, your latest one is called Yet. And before I play that song snippet, tell us a little bit about that song and what inspired you to write it.
Well, my producer, Mr. David Norris, had set up a writing session with me and Ron Grimes, who you may know worked very closely with Leanne Rimes. So I was very honored to work with him. And him and I had gotten on a Zoom call and we had talked about the music business. He gave me a lot of great advice. He told me that best songs come from personal experiences, and I could not agree more. And then that actually happened when I was in 8th grade, and I hadn't had a boyfriend yet or anything like that. So I was kind of very excited for that part of my life, and we decided that that would be a great idea for a song because it was a personal experience.
Well, it's a great song, and let's go ahead and play snippet number 1, Liv Hatfield's song Yet.
Through the haze, I see you coming. Oh, how I wonder where you've been. You're everything I ever dream of. You're my best friend. But there's just one problem here. I haven't met you yet. I haven't met you yet. Not looking for someone, just the right one. My only regret, just haven't met you yet. No, 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 no.
Love that song, Liv. The lyrics are fantastic. You really capture that feeling of finding true love, and it really showcases your voice as well. So
Thank you.
great job.
Thank you.
Let's talk about um I read that you have an inspirational story that happened in your young years. You were about 2 years old and your parents started noticing there were some difficulties with learning, and you began to have seizures at 2 years old. And thankfully, thank God, you know, you turned a corner and your parents and God were able to, you know, fix that, heal you. What does your faith and your parents' faith play in your life today?
Well, it plays a very big role, especially because of that traumatic experience that my family went through when I was younger. They actually told my parents that I only had a 50% chance of speaking. And we always say how amazing it is that God turned a like neurological medical issue into a music career, which I am amazed by. But we are very strong in our faith. Me personally, I went through a crisis of faith in like second grade just because I learned, which I know is young, but that's when I learned about like stuff. And I also went to a Lutheran school during that time up until sixth grade. And when I went to my public school, ironically, my faith grew more because I found more people who believed in Jesus. And it kind of just taught me that the people in my Lutheran school bubble were not the only people that believed in Jesus. And I knew I wasn't alone in my faith. So I think that also really helped.
Yeah, you have such a good head on your shoulders, and you're certainly blessed. I am too a Christian, and I became one at a very young age. And you know, you go through obstacles regardless. I mean, we're here to learn on earth and we're tested. And sometimes, you know, you just don't know why you're being tested with that certain thing. And you can only do the best that you can. But faith does keep you grounded. And it's been a long time since I've been in high school. And, you know, I'm sure things are quite different now. There's a lot going on. And you do need to, you know, at least have some type of grounding. And your parents should be commended in, you know, those efforts. So, um, having said all that, um, you know, you have a gift. You play the guitar, you play the piano. How old were you when you started?
Well, I've been playing guitar for about 3 years. I actually started with ukulele in like
Did you?
2019, I think. I mean, I haven't really touched it in a while. I probably should, but I learned guitar from my very talented guitar teacher, Mr. Jordan Bumgarner, up here in Yorkville, as well as piano from my amazing vocal coach, Miss Kelly Peretta. I actually don't formally take piano lessons just because I don't have enough time to carve out in my week to get those lessons. But when a song calls for it, I just go to my vocal coach and I'm like, hey, so I want to play this song on the piano. And she just teaches me, which is great.
Nice. Nice. And what's it like working with a vocal coach?
It's honestly amazing. That's actually how I started my music career in third grade. So honestly, I don't really even know where I'd be without a vocal coach. So I have to owe everything to my vocal coach and my parents for recognizing my passion at a very young age.
Let's talk about your very first single. I read that this song came about when you and your mom decided to travel to Nashville. And I don't want to put words in your mouth. Tell us that story about your very first song that you wrote and then later on recorded.
Yeah. So my mom and I, like you just said, went down to Nashville to write When I Fly. And the writers that wrote with me on this song were my producer, Mr. David Norris, and Corey Lee Barker. And when we went down, we had just said that we wanted a inspirational song that was along the lines of Kelly Clarkson that showed my voice off. And Mr. Norris just started strumming on his guitar, and Mr. Barker just started spitting out lyrics. And in 2 hours, we had When I Fly. And my mom and I just left with our heads spinning, but in such a great way because we knew we left with such a great song. And I know that not everyone has that type of person in their life to have go down there with them. So I'm very grateful to my parents that they are supportive of me and that they went down with me. And yeah.
That's wonderful. I want to go ahead and play snippet number 2, your song When I Fly by LIV HATFIELD. And when we come back, let's talk more music.
Nobody gave me a snowball's chance in hell. Said the odds were stacked against me. Guess they don't know me too well. When most people see a wall, I see opportunity. Just tell me what I can't do and then watch me. I'm gonna fly. You can't convince me that I can't. I'm gonna rise. Oh, and I don't give a damn if the whole world thinks I'm crazy. Just let those haters hate me. Imagine their surprise when I
I love that song too, Liv. It is inspirational, very upbeat. And what was it like going in the recording studio for the first time?
Well, I was 13, so it's a tough age, and I was very scared just because it was my first time being in that type of setting. And thankfully, I wasn't the only one there because to make studio time worth it, you have to have like 3, 4 songs. And at the time, I only had When I Fly. So when we were getting the track laid down, we went down there with a bunch more artists from Chicago. That included Miss Annie Vander. And she kind of just helped me through the whole process and helped me like calm down a little bit. And then when it came to recording the vocals, even though I had no clue what I was doing, we got it done in a day, I think. And Mr. Norris just knew how to get the best vocals out. And ever since like the first like recording of everything, I have been a lot more comfortable down there because I know the process and I know my producer better, and I think he knows me better, I hope. So it's just a lot more fun.
Well, great. We were talking about volleyball a little while ago, and I love to ask athletes, how does being an athlete, and you're competitive, that is for sure, how does that transfer into being an artist and a singer? Do you bring anything, along the way from sports?
I do. Volleyball and music are 2 very different aspects in my life, but they do complement each other. Volleyball has taught me hard work and resilience, especially because I'm very hard on myself. And if I don't reach my standards, I'm going to feel bad. But with volleyball, since like it's a game of mistakes, you have to learn that you make mistakes and no one's perfect. And same with music. Like you kind of just have to forgive and forget and move on.
Well said. I love how, again, you're well-rounded and your work ethic is tremendous for someone who's 15 years old. And where do you see yourself in the future? You're very young, so you have your whole life ahead of you. I mean, do you have any goals long term?
Well, my goal for at least college is to go to Belmont and play volleyball there. And I would also really like to see myself going on tour and viewing the world and just sharing my music with people because I really love the impact music has on people, and I'd like to have that same impact on people. So I just really would like to get to just share my music with the world. So, yeah.
That's great. I believe the gentleman, Jed Jurgensmeyer, that I'll be interviewing this month, I believe he goes to Belmont. And you'll have to listen in. I'm sure we'll touch base on his college. And, I'm it's a fabulous school. And let's talk about the second single that you wrote, Familiar Stranger. And I really love this song. Your voice has, a great tone to it. You seem a little bit more comfortable, possibly. I don't know. Maybe you're starting to find that pocket, if you will. And tell us about that song and what inspired you to write it.
That song, like you said, was our second one, and I had gone down during a friendship breakup type thing, and it was happening in 8th grade, and middle school, it's full of drama, and I didn't really know how else to get my feelings out other than song, so I just went down and I was like, hey, I would like to make a song about a friendship that you realize is toxic and you need to get out of it. And Mr. Norris is just so great at putting feelings into words. And we just started writing the song, and then we recorded it, and we have this amazing song now that I love.
I do too. I want to play snippet number 3 right now, and we're going to listen to Familiar Stranger by LIV HATFIELD. And when we come back, we're going to close out the show.
Perfect.
Seems like only yesterday we were best of friends, a phone call away. We used to celebrate the trouble we got into. Amazing how I came to find you were out of sight, I was out of mind. Never thought I'd draw the line till you grew so cruel, so used to. I must admit I nearly lost it until I finally ditched the toxic, peculiar, how nuclear our good times turned to waste. I'm glad you found something nice and shiny, a way for you to remind me it's not the kill, but the thrill of the chase. I guess you're just an entertainer, my familiar stranger.
Great song. I can't wait. You have a song coming out any day now.
I do, yeah. It's Unbreak a Heart. It's actually coming out on Valentine's Day.
Okay.
Very
Great.
excited. I had written it with Doc Holliday, who is an amazing writer and has even sent me some more songs that I may or may not be recording over the summer. And I'm very excited about that. And I really just love this song so much. It's kind of ironic because it's being released on Valentine's Day, but it's kind of a breakup song, even though I've never been through one. But yeah, it's just a great song, and I hope everyone enjoys it.
Oh, I can't wait to hear it. And are you on Spotify and all the streaming platforms?
Thanks for asking. I'm actually on every platform. So if you guys use Apple Music, Spotify, or whatever you use, you can find me there at LIV HATFIELD. And if you actually have trouble with finding me, you can just go to my website, livhatfieldmusic.com. And up in the corner, you can find my socials. And yeah.
Great. I encourage everyone to listen to LIV HATFIELD's songs and her new song coming out. And in closing, Liv, do you have any advice for any young singers looking to break into the industry?
Yeah. My advice would be don't give up, because you never know who you're going to be, and just put yourself out there no matter how scary it can be. There's always going to be someone who supports you, and sometimes there might be someone who doesn't like you, and that is okay. You just want to be yourself, and you'll find the right people, and it will work out for you. Just put your mind to it and it will become reality.
Fantastic. Great words of advice. And I'm so glad you joined me on today's show. Your future looks so bright, Liv.
You?
I can't wait to see how you continue to grow as a singer in the industry and songwriter as well. And once again, like I always say, Liv, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you.